Back at it again with another deck list. Today we're going to be covering a constructed list. So yes, it will cost a little more than the average pauper one that I have previously covered. But do not fret, because this one is still definitely on the cheaper side of things, which is perfect for our budget players. The best part about this list, half of it's going to be in the yellow Shoemon precons, so you won't be digging into the collection or online for too many cards. Today we're going to be covering Shoemon Rush, or as a good friend of mine likes to call it, Zapato. Shoemon Rush will, of course, focus more on the lower end side of things, looking to swarm the board quickly and close out games. So get your Jordans on, or your Zapatos, and let's run through this list together. Starting off with our 4 copies of EX7 Shoemon. This card is a gorgeous little thing in its alt art. A 3-cost 1k little guy with the effect that during your turn when this Digimon would digivolve into a puppet, reduce its digicost by 1. While not exactly an overwhelming card by itself, saving memory in this deck is essential to making our board wide enough to win in a single turn. It's inherited, giving security Digimon neg 3k, just allows us for generally safer swings with our level 4 stuff, so it's solid for what it does. Not particularly strong, but Zapato do be Zapato. Next, 4 copies of the ST19 Shoemon. The Searcher of the deck, and this card is kind of just the juice. You need it, you're going to have to play it. This thing is the oil that makes the deck do funny things. On play, dig 3 for a puppet and a liberator card. This is able to hit so many cards and allowing us to sculpt our hand easier, keeping up our resources when we play so many cards a turn. Inherited, the same as our previous Shoemon, reducing all Digimon insecurity by 3k. Love the dude's art. I just find Shoemon adorable. It's basically the reason I wanted to build the deck. Next, 4 copies of Pawn Chessmon from ST19, the blocker variation. This card was an interesting inclusion. I think it's a necessary evil for the deck, sadly. Generally, I dislike throwing defensive cards in a list that is meant to be just balls to the wall aggro, but the number of times a single blocker could change the outcome of one turn, it just seems like you have to include it. On deletion, by discarding another puppet trait Digimon, draw 2 cards. Love being able to filter on blocking, just seems like value on top of value. We're also going to be playing 2 copies of his twin brother, Pawn Chessmon, also from SC19. On play, trash a puppet, draw 2. This was originally swapped ratio-wise between the blocker variation, but it turns out being able to block was just more important than that on-play ability. Its inherited giving reboot is almost never really relevant, since we're usually just looking to swing out on that one turn and win. And like the security DP of the level 4s, it's not really relevant. Like, yeah. These inclusions raise the overall level 3s run to 14, which is slightly higher than your usual traditional list. But, you know, we're playing low to the ground, so we're going to play as many, you know, as we possibly can. On to our level 4s, however. Champion time, where the Shoemons come out to play. We're going to be playing 4 copies of ST19 Shoemon. This card is not only gorgeous in terms of foiling, but full of potential. Digivolve for 2, 5k, with one of the coolest keywords in the game, Overclock. At the end of your turn, you may delete another Digimon or a token you control to have this Digimon attack without suspending. What this means is that Shoemon can essentially swing twice per turn, sacking one of your other Digimon that's already swung. This combos particularly well with the aggressive blocker Pawn Chessmon, sacking it to trigger its deletion effect to draw more cards. It also has an inherited neg 3k, like our other Shoemon bits, nothing too special there. If it's hit in security, it also allows you to play any Liberator trait card with a cost of 4 in your hand or trash for free without paying its cost. This can lead to some crazy turns depending on what you want to play off this. All of your Shoemon and Shoemons are Liberator cards, which already gives you a wide variety of potential targets for this effect. The other targets will be mentioned later. 3 copies of Promo Shoemon, number 165. This fella is one of the coolest parts of a potential OTK turn when digivolving summon a token for us. This can be used with other Shoemons as potential overclock fodder, or, depending on your board, even as another Digimon to swing with. This card also plays itself from security at the end of attack, which is wild because its token generation triggers on play or when digivolving. Sadly, our 3k tokens delete themselves at the end of your opponent's turn, but will neg 3k something at the same time. So this card is better offensively during your turn and defensively during your opponent's turn. Really cool card design, to be honest. He's also a play cost of 4, which means he can be played off our previously mentioned Shushu. Its inherited barrier is also pretty freaking cool in this deck, allowing you to keep your level 5 safe while swinging into security, or when your opponent tries to swing into it during their turn. Our next card, we're going to be playing only 2 copies of EX7 Shushu. Another 4-cost Liberator that can be played off of the ST19 Shushu or searched off of our starter deck Shoemon. 4k with the usual neg 3k security inherited. It's a pretty underwhelming card. When digivolving, if you control 1 or fewer tamers, play in Orisa for free. If this were on play as well, I would like this card a lot more. If it had 5k DP, I would like this card a lot more. This deck plays quite a few tamers, so the chances that you get value out of this is kind of minimal, which is why this Shushu is being run at the lowest quantity. The amount of times you're going to digivolve into this and hope it's one of your other level 4s, or you already have 2 tamers out. The amount of tamers we hit in security just means this card is just weaker on average, and you don't get the value on playing a free tamer half the time, so we dropped it down to 2. Finally, we're going to be playing our level 5s, and to be honest, there's not many of them here. We're only going to be playing 3 copies of the EX7 Chaperone. This deck does not have the space or resources to be spending more than 3 memory on digivolving, but this particular card allows us to go wide, and that can be valuable. At 3 costs when digivolving, you may play any level 3 puppet from your hand for free, essentially meaning you get a free digivolve out of this. Combos particularly well with our Searcher Shoemon, since if we can't give it Rush, it's an easy target to overclock after getting its on-play value, because Chaperone gets that overclock too. This card with the ST19 Shoemon can lead up to a potential 6 security swing in a single turn off a couple of 4 Digimons, which means that clutching up a win on a single turn is not out of the realm of possibility. This card's DP at 7k is not ideal, it's a little on the weak side, but with the inheriteds you're usually dropping the enemy security mons by 6k at least, making Chaperone swings a pseudo 13k, which all of a sudden makes it so much stronger, and this is actually the reason why we have to play a couple of the level 5s. But on to our tamers. I'm going to be playing 4 copies of ST19 Orisa. It's a memory setter. Nothing too special. During your turn, when an effect plays a token or a puppet, you can suspend it to give that Digimon Rush for the turn. This card combos so well with the promo Shushu. It will lead to multiple swings that can lead into more overclock shenanigans. Realistically, I wouldn't be super high on it, but as the deck's memory setter, and because having as much memory as possible in this deck just to make sure you can go wide enough on that like pop-off turn, you need to play it. Got to run the playset. We're going to be playing 3 copies of the EX7 Orisa, a 3-cost tamer that gains you a memory at the start of your turn if your opponent has a Digimon. This, with the memory setter, is really good. It manages to get you up to 4 most turns, which is super relevant because most of your Digi evolutions will all cost 2. All of your options, a lot of your options will also cost 2. So that 4 is really great, being able to do up 3 different things on a turn, essentially. Very, very big. All turns when a puppet or a token is deleted, you may suspend this tamer to play a level 3 puppet from your hand for free. This card is like really, love it. Also has an altar. Pretty cards. This card is what makes our blocker Pawn Chessmon worth playing. Being able to create a blocker when your opponent is busy swinging into your security and blowing up your board is always value. I'd probably run the 4 if I could find the space. I do like this tamer a lot. We're going to be playing 1 copy of the P136 Orisa. Now, if you can't find these, more than welcome to play an extra copy of the EX7. It's the only card in the deck that's probably worth more than $5. They're so hard to find. On play, play a Shoemon from your hand for free. During your turn, once per turn, when a puppet digivolves, you can suspend this tamer, gain a memory. It's great with EX7 Shushu digivolving. Playing it for free, then you can also digivolve into a Shushumon for free, suspending this tamer off its effect, reducing the Evo cost by 2. That being said, we don't play many X7 Shushus, and we don't play many of these, so it makes sense there's very few between them. It also can't play a Pawn Chessmons, which is kind of like half our level 3 lineup, so she's great, but she's not good at either. If we could get another Shoemon in future that is half decent, and it's not a promo that's going to cost us $15 to $20, it's going to be a lot better, and we could start working around possibly adding more of these. But at the moment, it's not worth the $10 to $12 it's currently sitting at just to play, multiples and to change up the list even more. We're going to be playing one copy of Genai. I know, very spicy. This card does two things incredibly well. It's basically another copy of our ST19 Shoemon, giving us more card draw, allowing us to fill our hand with rookies. On play, look at the top 5. Find any non-white tamer and a level 3, add them both to hand. Spicy. Its second effect, allowing the Digimon in Raising to move up, also puts our enemy on a shorter clock, giving us another potential guaranteed swing next turn. This is also very solid if you have a extra memory on a previous turn. You Digivolve on your Pawn Chessmon. Blocker, Pawn Chessmon. Your opponent swings with a level 5 or higher, I believe it is, and then being able to move that up and block with it. Pretty good. We can play this. This is a bit of a flex slot, however, so we can move some cards around if we need to. It is just a spicy little, card of mine that I like. Anyway, lastly, we're going to be moving on to our options. We're going to be playing 4 copies of Wonder Stomp because it costs 2. It draws us a card, allows us to play a level 3 puppet for free. It's also a liberator card, which means ST19 Shoemon and Shoemon is able to find it, add it to hand, and play it respectively. Its security effect, being able to activate its main effect, also means we can play our blocker Chessmons during an opponent's turn. Gives us more card draw during my opponent's turn. It's just... it's an amazing card. It is just perfect. It is the perfect card for this archetype. I'm glad this card exists. We're going to be playing a playset of physical trainings because Shoemon skates around the board and we never miss leg day. Physical training hits every card in the deck except for our Genai, reduces digicosts by 2, which makes for the perfect setup card when we want to combo off into multiple overclockers. This is also fairly decent early game, so it's not the worst thing in the world to play. It is very good when we want those pop-off turns and we have a couple of these just laying around. We're going to be playing 2 copies of Genai's House. Now, this card might be harder for a few of you to get a hold of unless you're already planning on opening some of the new starter decks. This card, when I saw it spoiled, just blew my mind. The second I read it, I'm like, this is so going in this deck, and I'm so glad I hadn't made this video until now so I could talk about it. So it's a 2-cost option in white that takes your bottom security and replaces it with this. Whilst in security, all your level 3 or higher Digimon gain 3000 DP. It is so big for this deck. A Shoemon with this in security and a Shoemon underneath it is essentially a 10 to 11k power DP at level 4 when swinging into security. This extra DP boost really helps us swing safer with our overclockers to OTK. I kind of wish it wasn't from the new starter decks because I just want to pick up a couple of these. But, and I would realistically play 3 copies if I could. But considering we only play 1 Genai, in the event we have one of these in security already, I don't want the dead draw we don't play enough white sources that if we have one in security, we're not going to be able to play it with it. There's no way to discard it for value, so we just, we're going to play the 1 Genai, 2 copies of this, and, if we manage to hit it and get it into security, it's just, so much value. We're going to be playing 2 copies of Yellow Memory Boost. This card is not nearly as useful as physical training, as it pushes away our Tamers, our Wonder Stomps, our physical trainings, but being able to lock away 2 extra memory for a later turn means it's a decent turn 1, turn 2 play. We of course play the lovely Shoemon art because it's only natural. We also play 1 copy of Wyvern's Breath because this deck can't generally deal with huge big boys. A neg 15k kills pretty much everything. We really want to hit this in security because it's pretty expensive for us. This is kind of like the one card we want to play on a turn where they just have a big ace, like a big ace threat that you can, it's an 8-drop. Just kill off their big ace, maybe get back another 4 memory, like a 4-cost removal spell, blow up their big thing. Yeah, it's okay. Last card in the deck, 2 copies of it. Can you guess what it is? It's yellow. If you said Heaven's Judgment, you'd be right. The only reason we play this card is because we run Pawn Chessmons, okay? I know, I hype this card up a lot. In the event we get more regular Shoemons, or just, better level 3s that might replace Pawn Chessmons in future. We're going to have less reason to play this card. It will probably be cut in future. If you have the money or you have the resources to find the promo Shoemons, then of course you're probably not going to be playing the Pawn Chessmons, in which case you don't need to play this card. Either way, it's a great card, controls the board. You know, you've already heard me talk about it hundreds of times before. Not hundreds, you know. It's a great card. And of course, we cannot forget our Eggos, the playset of ST19 Kyaromon. When attacking, if you control another Digimon, draw a card. These are usually the stacks you want to put under your overclockers, swinging with them first, getting that free draw, then your little guys, then overclocking, killing the little guys, swinging again. Oh, it's just... I love it. If you want more DP reduction or board control, BT18 Wanyamon will reduce an opponent's Digimon by 2k if you control a yellow tamer. Not a bad option if you want to play into if you play into an aggro heavy meta. But time for some upgrades. Now, if we don't like the idea of Genai, or we don't like Genai's house, there's a very nice little technical combo the deck can do, swapping out the Genais and stuff for copies of Vortex Resonance. Primarily because this card has the Liberator trait, which means it's an amazing piece that can be searched off your Shoemon and whatnot. Dig 3, add a Liberator card to your hand, then Digivolve any Digimon you control into a Digimon from your hand with its cost reduced by 4. Considering these cards are currently going for around 20 US right now, I wouldn't say they're 100% necessary, but they would totally be an upgrade for the deck. Because it's a Liberator card, can be searched off the Shoemon, and can be hit off physical training since it's yellow. The card is 100% gravy on top of your stake. Going through some EX7 bulk and buying 2 copies of the starter decks, you basically have the entirety of the deck built, so this shouldn't set you back more than around $50. It's a very fun go-wide deck that puts in work considering its price point. I decided to share this profile with you guys because I'm currently working on a Pauper deck list that plays very similarly to this, and I thought it's only fair to share this more refined list while I work on the Pauper one. I'm not really into building too many constructed decks at the moment. I find a lot of the decks are quite refined, and you're only going to find a couple of odd bits and pieces between lists. You can find meta stuff running around all the time. For this particular channel, I've always been more into building the niche, fringe, spicier sides of things. If people are looking to play meta, you're not going to really see me covering those sorts of decks. I play decks that are meant to be fun, that are meant to go, oh, this is a really cool interaction. But, yeah. With all that said and done, don't forget to like and subscribe, share it with your friends. I'm looking forward to building, and let me know if you build this deck, how it feels. I know it's not a conventional Shoemon list, that's the whole idea. I know people are hyped about the new Syndromon that's coming out. I mean, I don't think it's going to make me want to play or move the deck into a more mid-rangey sort of build. I love this kind of variation. I do like aggro decks a lot. But yeah, anyway, see you all in the next video, guys. Ta-ta!